Queen of Dance, Busiswa is back with her new hit entitled SBWL. Fresh from an outstanding performance on Beyonce's Black is King visual album, her SBWL dance track is produced by DJ Clap and it features Kamo Mphela. Now, the South African singer-songwriter and poet joins us to chat a little bit more about the latest offering and what we can expect ahead of summer. Busiswa, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Weekend Dawn. It's so early, but we appreciate you waking up. SBWL, I don't know how many times I had to practice saying that. My makeup artist and wardrobe was trying to explain what it means. So ultimately, with this latest track offering, I mean, what's the mood and feel? What are you hoping to evoke through it?
Well, SBWL, as I'm sure you've now figured out, is actually the word for from Xhosa and SBWL, which means I am craving or I would really like to have. And SBWL obviously is slang now, and it's become popular South African slang. And really, I thought, you know, as we go down the levels of lockdown, people are starting to see the sunshine every day. You know, it's getting warmer in the country, and we are here to warm it up even more. Basically, it's about all the things that you crave, all the things that you want, you know, for lockdown to end, for summertime to be better than what the rest of 2020 has been like. And honestly, even more serious issues, you know, like, you know, we really wish for our government to do better, and our justice system, you know, all the things that you wish we could really have in this time. So it's about positivity and light and good times, which is something that South Africans are very good at.
Absolutely, and it's definitely a theme that we can resonate with, as you mentioned, lockdown, as the lockdowns are easing. But I mean, on the back of that, you've just signed a distribution deal. You also released this new summer track. You were on Black is King with Beyonce. I mean, you've had a pretty intense 2020 for the most part. What has that experience been like for you?
I feel extremely blessed. I feel exceptionally blessed. I know that, you know, for a lot of people, there's, you know, people are losing their jobs. People are not sure what the other side of 2020 is going to look like. And so I can only try to inspire and to motivate. Ever since I went independent with my label, Majesty Music, I've been looking forward to seeing my Power music video drop with Beyonce, because we shot it last year already. And ever since it has dropped and the international distribution deal came through, I know that at the very least I can now share music that I've been creating at home in my studio. That's what I've been spending most of my lockdown time on. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready to just create happy memories with South Africans and Africans and the rest of the world.
How has it been balancing both the business aspects of you know, what you're doing as well as an artist? I mean, yes, 2020 we had lockdown and we're all changing our modus operandi, but going forward, how do you not let the two impact each other ultimately?
Well, I think for me, the gift of music is that you can actually release music because people are streaming more and downloading more. And so that is the positive side of it. I've had to invest in studio equipment so that I can record at home and create at home and use my voice. You know, I've been sharing poetry on my social media, which is something I hadn't done in a long time. I was just actually so entrenched in music that I so busy with music that I stuck to that. But I've been able to share some inspiring messages with for Women's Month. I want to do the same same again for Heritage Month as we go into that. And so, it's just been a time to explore different things for me and to learn more about myself as a businesswoman, which is, doing the admin side, the boring side of business. But I've been enjoying that. And I have an amazing team at Majesty Music that helps me to continue to be able to work even throughout lockdown.
Busiswa, I mean, for the rest of 2020, what can we expect? I mean, you've got the distribution deal, you've got SBWL, which is literally, it seems to be an anthem for most people in South Africa. What else is on the cards for you?
Well, on the other side of Black is King, the advantage is that, one of the things is that the world is watching Africa. So African artists are at an advantage place where we are able to share our music with the world now and not just with South Africans. So I've got plenty of music ready and waiting. I'm hoping that people will embrace me once again this year. I'm hoping that we'll celebrate summer again together as we always do every year. I'm hoping that we'll find positivity in a year that has been extremely difficult for everybody. Everybody lost money. Everybody had to change their plans. And so I hope that, this last 3 months, we are really going to shine. We're going to have good times together. And we are going to be the South Africa that dances our way throughout everything.
Busiswa, what was it like working alongside Beyonce last year? I mean, as you mentioned, Black is King was shot last year, and the world has literally caught up to it this year upon its release. But ultimately, just having the privilege of working alongside her, what did you learn? What did you grasp? What do you hope to implement back home as you also live out your legacy?
I think, Beyonce is a genius, over and above being a performer who's operating at the highest level. She is also so very involved technically, creatively, with everything that happens behind the scenes. I watched her direct that music video in particular, the one for My Power, the one that we are on. And I watched her direct it with so much grace, so much respect for her team and the fellow artists. But I think the most important thing that experience has taught me is that being myself and being my most authentic self is the best way to get ahead. I mean, I'm singing in Xhosa on that song, and I'm getting feedback with people from Japan saying Vumanibo, and people in Brazil singing along to that verse as well, and appreciating that. I've come to understand that we have a great amount of influence and power, and when we are coming out to the world as ourselves, that is when we are going to win. And when we collaborate and when we treat each other as creatives with respect and go forward together, we can do the biggest projects. I know Majesty Music now, we are ready to start getting young female artists signed under our label and developed, especially producers. And so I'm looking forward to implementing those lessons, which is encourage authenticity and having everybody be their best and operate in their most original form.
And we can only do that when we've got the necessary infrastructure and support. So COVID-19 has also highlighted some of the gaps and the lingering issues that are plaguing the South African entertainment and music industry. I mean, looking at what has transpired to date, where would you say are some of the gaps upon, with your experience working alongside Beyonce, some of the learnings you hope to bring back home? And what more can government do to strengthen policies and just support the industry more at large?
I think the biggest, problem that we had in the creative sector was the fact that when a relief fund was formed for artists, there was no clear line or way to distribute it to not only artists, but everyone in the creative industry, which is dancers, photographers, DJs, DOPs, graphic designers. So many people were left stranded because it actually highlighted the fact that there is no clear line of communication between artists and creatives, actually, and government. And so going forward, I think we can organize better and mobilize better. I think that as creatives, we also need to start thinking about forming unions and have our companies be organized and so that we have a collective voice, so that we never find ourselves collectively stranded like this. ever again. And also, I think government can use technology better to communicate and to direct funds, like a relief fund, for example, to artists. I mean, we didn't even have a WhatsApp line that we could ask questions on. Tweets went unresponded to. It was very one-sided, where, you know, a press statement is released and then people are supposed to be okay with whatever that's said. And so I think that they were also government was very out of touch with how a lot of creatives operate, which is on a freelance basis and on a contract basis. And so when this crisis happened and the pandemic took over, expecting creatives to be organized to a level that was unrealistic for most artists, I think that from our side as creatives, we can do better and organize better, but also government can use technology better and find better infrastructure, use technology better to be able to reach the people that they are supposed to serve.
Busiswa, we're going to have to leave that conversation there, but thank you very much for echoing those sentiments. Thank you for the music. Of course, as SBWL heats up the summer charts, we are going to be tracking, you know, your offerings. And again, we're so proud of everything that you have accomplished. Keep flying the flag high for South Africa. Busiswa joined us on Artist Spotlight, chatting about her latest offering entitled SBWL. It's a sultry summer collaboration with her fellow dance queen, Kamo Mphela.